Hello, everyone. I wanted to speak about the word compromise today because I see this everywhere around me, and the Lord pointed this out this week. There's compromise in the churches and amongst believers, in families, and in our society. There are things that we never used to compromise on. Some are compromising now. And some compromises are good, don't get me wrong. For example, in a marriage, my husband and I, we compromise on certain things. Like when I want to do something and he wants to do something else, we talk about it and we do what he wants to do. Sometimes we do what I want to do. Or let's say picking out paint for the kitchen. We compromise on the color, right? But when it comes to God's principles inside the church and in the family, when it comes to moral principles and values that are of God, we cannot compromise. Why should you never compromise? And I will tell you what the Lord revealed to me this week. Because compromise lets demonic spirits in. And the more you continue to compromise, the worse it gets. So take it very, very seriously. You need to make a stand when it comes to right and wrong. This is not about loving people and trying to please everyone. This is about integrity. Integrity means the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. God is full of integrity. We cannot compromise when it comes to integrity. We cannot compromise about God's commandments. For example, if God calls it a sin, it is a sin. You can't compromise. If injustice was done, you have to accept it. It's injustice. You can't say it was not. I even heard believers saying we can't use the word sin because it's offensive to people. There are a lot of things in the Bible that are offensive to people today. Are we going to pick and choose what we talk about so we can make everyone feel welcomed and comfortable? No, no, and no, that is compromise. What does the Word of God say about compromise? In Romans 12:2, it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world. And many believers and churches are conforming, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will, His good, pleasing, and perfect. If you see something, hear something that is against God, against His principles and values, are you going to stand up or are you going to turn the other way just to make sure you don't offend anyone? Compromise is a sin. It is double-mindedness. Revelation 3:15 says, I know your deeds, that you are neither cold or hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. God hates the lukewarm. He hates compromise. So when it comes to compromise, double-mindedness, the fear of offending people, make up your mind and be hot, not lukewarm. Stand firmly on the principles of God. Yes, you will lose people. Sometimes it's not easy. It's hard. Yes, some people won't like you. Yes, you will lose some relationships. Yes, churches will lose attendees if they don't compromise, if they speak the truth and what's on God's heart. But do you want to please people? Or you want to please God? Choose God. definitely God. In Luke 12:51, Jesus said, "Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but division. From now on, there will be 5 in one family divided against each other, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, and son against father, and mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, and mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law." You know, very soon the time is going to come when believers will not be able to compromise anymore. And you will have to stand up for what you believe in, for Jesus. It's a matter of time. We will likely have to go through some tribulation. Some of us already going through persecution. Persecution will only come to those who stand up and do not compromise. If you're not being persecuted for something, check and make sure that you are not compromising. We have to be all in, wholeheartedly. Be hot and on fire. Stand up for the word of God. God sees our heart, and let's make sure that there are no compromises there. Our heart has to be after Jesus. Let's make sure that our hearts are truly after Jesus, because He sees the heart. He knows your heart. Nothing is hidden from Him. In 1 Corinthians 11:1, Paul says, "Imitate me. Imitate me just as I imitate Christ." Let's come up higher to a higher standard, to be like Jesus, full of integrity and no compromise. Bless you.